Hey guys, this is Success. I just want to share my bias today on GU. Yesterday, we went in for a 20 pip stop loss and targeting 100 pips, but we were able to capture 74 pips before the market reversed from this level. From this level, this was a fake out. From this level, the market reversed and went up yesterday. So today it's a fresh day, it's a new day. So as you can see, I've already marked out my high and low of the week. I've already marked out my psychological levels based on where price is currently. So there are more psychological levels on this, but I'm just going to share my bias. So yesterday or previously during my analysis, so I was definitely anticipating for, like I said, higher highs. That is understanding market structure. So I saw markets did higher high, higher low, higher high. That was last week. So did higher highs, higher lows, and all. Then we got to where market literally yesterday. The reason why also I was anticipating for a sell, market broke this level, which in the case it was pushing to the upside, it broke this level. So we saw price literally did this because like I said, the reason why I sold yesterday, I saw this movement. You see, I saw this movement here. So I saw this pullback here. I was literally anticipating, like I sold there to here. I was expecting, like I said, I was expecting a new low here. So that's how I was targeting 100 pips. So my 100 pips was literally to the next cycle level. But then what happened? Market failed to create a new low. Then market instead got rejected. You understand? So it got rejected. So all I literally now see today, because of what happened yesterday, market failed to create a new low. This is what I'm anticipating today, based on the fact that market failed to create a new low. So I'm literally seeing a formation forming here. From here, you can say, okay, here is a higher high. You see, there's a fake out. You can say higher low, equal the same low because it wasn't broken. Then I'm literally here now based on price, current price action. You can see here already is a new high. So I'm anticipating something like this for market to form here, higher low, then higher high, a new high here, a new high. You see, I'm anticipating for market to form a new high here. Okay, I'm anticipating for market to form a new high, then expecting a pullback into this high that was broken looking left. Then if the trend keeps pushing to the upside based on the fact that there's a very big fundamental news on GBP. And also remember yesterday or earlier today, it depends on where you are or wherever you watching from. There was fundamentals on US dollar yesterday. It fell, like there was a strong fell on US dollar based on fundamentals. And also there was a great news on GBP, which is there was a great fundamentals on GBP. You see. So there's a new surge in GBP. So this is literally my bias. If I have to take this trade, if this buy setup confirms, this is literally how I'm going to trade it. This is how I'm going to trade if the setup is definitely intact and confirms the price action. So why am I going to buy? I'm going to because I'm seeing the higher high, higher low, higher high form, and expecting the higher low. So what I'm anticipating now, if I see a higher low here, remember this is my 4 hour. So if I'm seeing a higher low here, I'm literally going to buy from my 15-minute time frame. So this is what I'm anticipating. So remember, this is my overall time frame, which is the 4 hour. So I'm going to then fall down to 1 hour to see what's happening and how prices are actually reacting off my psychological levels. So I can delete this. Let's just see what's going on clearly. So this is what's happening on my 1 hour time frame. Okay. So let me then just make it a little bit easier. Let me plot another psychological level. so you can understand exactly what I'm talking about. So I can, okay, let me shift, let me just keep on plotting. Remember 50 pips. This was 3.500, then this one is going to be 1.34500. 1.34500. That's my psychological level. Then I'm going to keep on plotting psych level because I want to add psych level so you can understand properly what's going on. So this one is going to be 1.34. So this was what happened. I'm trying to give you a proper understanding on what's going on how I combine my conferences. So you can see now this is the 4 hour. I usually use my 4 hour to plot my psychological levels. I usually use my 4 hour to mark out my high and low of the week. I usually most time use my 4 hour to draw my trend lines and then fall to the intermediate time frame, which is 1 hour. So I've already marked out my cycle level on 4 hour. Now I'm going to fall to 1 hour. Let's see how price is reacting on those levels. So this was the rejection yesterday. So from this level yesterday got rejected from this level. And if I want to add more cycle level below, so you can understand why I was targeting 100 pips. So you can understand why I was targeting 100 pips yesterday. Like I said, I do have two take profit areas. One is 100 pips and the other is 50 pips. So on good days, I tend to position for a more movements, and other days I just tend to take my profits and leave the market, which is 50 pips. So my next psychological level is 1.33500. So this was the reason why I was targeting a sell. I was expecting a new low from yesterday, which you saw here. Here, this next psychological level at 1.33500, that was my take profit area. That was exactly my take profit area. So I don't just place my take profit on any levels. They are proven levels, psychological level, acting as support and resistance. So this was literally why I was targeting 100 pips, because if this sell literally was to break and create a new low, it was going to happen on a cycle level. So you see, it failed to happen. So this is my 4 hour time frame. This is exactly how I trade, how I analyze. So I'll fall down to my 1 hour time frame. So we see how price is reacting. So you can see, sorry about this, just trying to delete it. Okay. So you can see based on what's happening on this time frame, 1 hour time frame. So this is my 1 hour time frame. So you can literally see what's happening. Price fail on the psych level here reversed. Here is the psychological level at 1.34, 1.34000. So price rejected, and on this level, price broke above this level. On the cycle level here, price rejected, formed a W pattern, and went to the upside. So if I'm to trade this now, this is my 1 hour. So this is how price is looking so far on 1 hour, which is my intermediate time frame. And then you can also see from 15 minutes what's happening. Let's see how the market is looking in 15 minutes. Remember also here, like I told you, a cycle level. Here you can see a W being formed here on top of a cycle level, then low of the week. So in my conferences, like I told you, I look out for 3/4 conferences. Some days where I find 4/4, that is a perfect trade. So, and mind you, in this journey of trading the financial market, there is nothing like a perfect trade. Your setup might be perfect, everything might align, your conferences might align, but then the market always tend to do whatever it wants to do. All you just have to do is to execute, react when you find conferences. So yesterday, from doing my analysis today, I can see that market formed a W here on top of a cycle level. And below that, you can see there's a black line crossing this level. That is my low of the week, and there's one on top here that is high of the week. So you can see the market gave me 3/4 conferences, psychological level, low of the week, then price action, in this case W. So being into this for some time now, I definitely understand that this is a W that was formed here. So that's 3/4 confluences. So that's how I trade. Then on 15 minutes, if I want to take this trade now, let's say, okay, now based on the fact that the price have already passed this level, seeing this setup, if I want to execute on it, if I was on time, this was how I was going to take this trade from this level. I'm going to, let's say, I'm going to probably risk here is a 15 minutes, I'm going to risk, let's say, 30 pips, then target 100 pips because it's literally a big movement. So that was a big movement. So I'm just going to say risking 30 pips to target 100 pips. That's literally going to take it to the cycle level. So if I'm using 30 pips, let's see if market was able to stop us out. So if I was using 30 pips, literally I was going to wait to enter this position here when I see this confirmation of the W being formed. I was going to enter. Obviously, price might have already passed this level, so which means we're going to be fine with the stop loss. So this was literally how I was going to take this trade. You see, this was how I was going to take this trade if I saw this, or literally if I saw it on time, or if I saw this earlier. This was how I was going to take this buy. Reason why here you see cycle level, you can see, okay, low of the week and price action. In this case, a W being formed on top of a cycle level. So that's 3/4 conferences. So in this case, now here is my 15 minutes. So I'm going to go to 4 hour to definitely understand what's going on also. So on 4 hour now, what I'm going to do is that I'm going to mark out my levels. I'm going to mark out my levels. I've already marked my levels, but I'm going to pay attention to this level, cycle level here. You see, there's a psychological level here. You see, so we have to pay attention to this place because price reacted. Price reacted around these levels. Price reacted around these levels. So this is what I'm going to be waiting for. Okay, why am I waiting? Like I told you earlier on this lessons today, I'm waiting for, or rather, I've already spotted the higher high, higher low, then higher high being formed. So I'm expecting the higher low on top of this from this place. I'm expecting this low for it to create a new low here to perform a market structure higher high, higher low. Then from this area on my smaller time frame being 15 minutes, my entry time frame. So I'm going to be positioning for a buy. I'm going to be positioning for a buy. You see, based on what market structure that I'm seeing forming. So I'm going to be positioning for a buy. So if I want to position for a buy in this manner, so probably I might just go to, here's my 1 hour intermediate time frame. This is what I'm looking out for. So if I want to buy now, I'll go to my 15 minute being my entry time frame. So I'm going to buy on this level. So this is exactly how I'm going to do that. I'm gonna do this. So this is what I'm gonna do. Then I'm gonna be targeting using 30 p stop loss, then 1000, sorry, 100 pip stick profit. So that makes it a good setup for me if I want to if I want to go on this trade. So this is the 15 minutes. Definitely might not understand. It might look definitely not too clear for you. For those that definitely don't take trades or trade on lower time frame like 15 minutes. But for me, like I told you, I then tend to analyze my trade on 4 hour time frame. Then 1 hour is my intermediate time frame, and then 15 minutes is my entry time frame. So this is how I take my trade. Then for you, okay, I can move into 1 hour now so you see exactly what I'm talking about. So you can see now, why am I positioning here? You can expand your stop loss, but for me, at the end of the day, plotting stop loss, you need to definitely place your stop loss based on where price has come and has left, based on structures, not just any random places. So you can in this case you can use 40 pips, because you can use 40 pips and still target 100 pips because you're making more. So you're risking less and making more. So that is also fine. for me, I think 30 pips. I usually have a face stop plus 20 pips. So I usually use 20 pips, but in this case, I'm using 30. So you can see my risk ratio reward now is 3.33 risk ratio reward, which is a very good setup. That is a very good ratio on any given day. So if literally you have the time to still want to wait on this trade, I expect, since like we said, we are expecting a market structure being formed. What is the market structure being formed? A higher high, a higher high, higher low, then higher high. So which means the high ought to be on the next psychological level, which means the high we get would be higher than this level. If price doesn't reverse here to do the pullback, some people call it correctional move. If it doesn't come back here, then I will just wait patiently for the market to get back if it wants to form a market structure. Because so far I'm seeing a market structure being formed on the higher time frame. So this is what I think. This is my bias. So I'm going to be waiting for a pullback into this level, and then I will go to my smaller time frame, which is my entry time frame, 15 minutes. Then I will enter my trade from this place. I'll go in for a long. I can target. I'm already targeting 100 pips, but I think if market structure literally is what's forming in this place based on price action, I think there's potential we might go for 150 pips. There's potential, which means I just have to adjust my take profit to 150 pips, 150 pips, 150 pips. So there's potential to do this. There's potential. And when you see that, watch the take profit. So you understand that I just don't place my take profit anywhere. It's usually on a tested areas on a psychological level. So let's mark out our next psychological level now. So we're going to mark out our next psychological level. So you guys see why I combine these confluences and how I combine these confluences. So the other one was 1.35 500. So this one is gonna be, it's gonna be 1 point. Okay. This is gonna be 1 point. Okay, 3600. It's gonna be 1.3600. So this is literally it, and then there is more cycle level if you want to keep on plotting cycle levels. So you can plot another cycle levels here. Let's see. Let's see. It's gonna be 1.06500. So you see exactly. You see the take profit area exactly. That is it. Exactly. You see my take profit exactly on the cycle level. So there are more cycle level. You keep on plotting as the case may be. But for me, understanding all the cycle level and how easy it is for me, I just tend to not plot too much unless it's relevant on the current price, where price is. So that's why I don't find a lot of cycle levels on my chart, because I just want to keep my chart as clean as possible. So this is how I just trade analyze. So if you want me to teach you how to definitely spot these levels, how to definitely plot your psychological levels very well and combine them with other conferences, like, follow, subscribe for more.